Okay, let's go.
All right, and let's go. So my topic is going to be about participation awards for athletic programs. There's been a lot. I know this is kind of like a little bit of a later discussion. It's kind of was hitting off when Harrison had made a comment about his kids having a participation award, and I actually want to read that one off to you guys real quick.
Who's Harrison?
No. Oh my gosh. I want to keep thinking Harrison Ford now.
I was thinking about Harrison
linebacker from Pittsburgh Steelers.
James Harrison? James Harrison.
Was it James Harrison? Why do I feel like that doesn't sound right? But anyways, then fine then. James Harrison.
He's a linebacker for middle linebacker for the or outside linebacker from Steelers for the longest time.
Yes.
He was like punching people in the back.
Why can't I think of the name? Anyways, yes. Okay, so
yeah, he's a dick.
He did do that.
I hate that.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what he had said. Okay. I came home to find out that my boys received 2 trophies for nothing, participation trophies. While I am very proud of my boys for everything they do and will encourage them till the day I die, these trophies will be given back until they earn a real trophy. I'm sorry I'm not sorry for believing that everything in life should be earned, and I'm not about to raise 2 boys to be men by making them believe that they are entitled to something just because they tried their best. Because sometimes your best is not enough. And that should drive you to want to do better, not cry and whine until somebody gives you something to shut you up and keep you happy. So this is what he had said a while back. And that caused a huge discussion about participation awards. Like, should they be involved? You know, should every kid be getting a participation award or not? And a lot of the argument on the side of them not is the idea of entitlement. Saying like it kind of builds this idea of entitlement that just because you're here and just because you're doing this, you just get entitled to it, getting a trophy or an award. Analogy of that was that my wife had said it's kind of like, in a way, like you go to a classroom to go get a grade on a certain test, and I spend a lot of time studying and doing the best that I can to try to know the information and do everything I can, while this other person doesn't do any studying and doesn't care, and they get a really bad grade. And I get a really great grade, but we both get like awarded the same way, and I was like, okay, I understand that. Another argument on the side of the participation awards not being a good option is the idea of just there's other ways in which the this is a different argument entirely, not the entitlement side, but saying that there's other ways in which the money could get spent within those athletic programs besides just buying every kid an award too as well.
Right.
They can put it in other areas. So I'd like to hear what you guys have to say, because I had the argument on the other side of why participation awards would be okay. So what do you guys think, though? You have a brand new son, Clay, who's gonna maybe get into sports, maybe not get into sports. I don't know what your guys' opinion is with that. Steve, I know the girls aren't in sports as of right now, but if they were, how would you guys feel about your child getting participation awards?
So 3 things, really quick. One, I don't think I get a little perturbed when I hear that the reason why millennials are so self-entitled is because we've raised a generation on people getting awards, like no matter what they do. But I'm a millennial and I did not grow up that way, so that is false. The self-entitlement thing, I think, comes from something different. I think it is more of a it's less of a causation than it is a correlation when people are looking at millennials and this idea of participation.
Did you receive participation awards?
No,
did you receive those?
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't.
No, I never got them.
Right. A lot of us didn't. So because this concept is fairly new. It's in the last 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Or 5-10 years. So that is kind of, I want to throw that out right in the window. 2, I kind of agree with what Harrison is saying in that, getting an award it could feel like you've done what you needed to do, and it's misleading, and like I don't really like that. However, I do not agree with the idea that sometimes trying your best is not acceptable. But because the concept of trying your best is acceptable. I think you should be not necessarily rewarded via trophy, but acknowledged. That because there's a big difference between trying your best and not trying your best, and trying your best should absolutely be rewarded well, whether it's verbal praise or acknowledgement. It doesn't necessarily mean you should get a trophy or the equivalent of someone who actually has done better than your best, because I think that is what drives you to continue to go forward. it's about learning lessons. It's about accepting that you tried your best, or else you're going to.
On that point, real quick, let me actually say something, because that's good what you're saying. So this is the argument for it, which is kind of what you're saying right now. They believe that the participation trophies teach a worthwhile lesson, which is there's something to teaching kids that is worth keeping a commitment, that we value this. Winning and losing is not a lesson that kids need to search out and to find. It's everywhere. But they also need to learn how important it is that everyone shows up.
Yeah, but the problem is that it's the presentation, right? The kids are being presented something that is the equivalent of doing the absolute ideal and best thing, which is a trophy. So instead of a trophy, maybe there's something else that they can acknowledge that these kids have. So much goes from just a coach bringing everybody together and being like, look, we lost today because of X, Y, and Z, but damn it, I noticed every single one of you got out there and gave it your all, and you gave it your all this whole season. You came to every practice. We stayed extra. We tried our best, and that's amazing. And we're going to take this, and we're going to come back next year, and we're going to learn from our mistakes and our lessons, and we're going to push ourselves even further now that we've set the bar even higher. So you guys should absolutely be proud of that. We didn't win the trophy, but we're going to come back, and we're going to try next year. I think, I don't know. It doesn't have to be a trophy or some kind of certificate, but it absolutely should be acknowledged in some way. And I know, and I don't know, the participation trophy is a little bit lazy. It's a little bit all right, just give everybody a trophy because everybody's upset already. It's well, do more than that.
So the reason why they're saying that too is not that everyone's upset, but they're saying that in a way it's a motivator to try to get kids to participate in sports more, to learn to improve their skills and help others, to make sure that they're coming back and they're trying to do it and do different things. Because they're also saying too, let's not forget that they are young kids. Okay, so think about the ages that kids still believe in Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy as a rule of thumb. Yeah. That is the age when a gold participation trophy seems to be quite magical as well at the same time. Now, a lot of research is showing that it doesn't have an effect by the time you get to an older age, by your tweens, your early teen years. Yeah, it has no effect over you anymore. You have an understanding of the world around you, what this is, what that is, and you know what it takes to have to strive hard to be able to get.
And that was my first point. I don't think.
But at a younger age, they're saying that it's still a very magical thing. To get this little participation trophy is actually a really big deal to these little kids. Yeah. As in, getting them to get back into sports, showing them that teamwork is good, showing them that the commitment, the dedication is good. I just, at the same time, I'm kind of on the fence about this one too. It's maybe it's a different presentation, like you are saying, maybe something else, because I also think, though, that the kids that are striving unbelievably hard and they're working off, not practice time, and they're out there throwing the ball and they're getting better and they're doing all these different things, I know that they get the awards usually at the end of the years that are the MVP or the best improved player or this and that, and there's only about 5 awards that would be handed out in a team of 20-something kids.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I do kind of agree with that in a sense. That's okay, you are really awarding those kids that are striving extremely hard. The participation one, it's maybe there is a way of approaching that and showing the kids some other form or another. But still at the same time keeping those kids involved in sports and letting them know that even though that they weren't the most improved and they didn't try that hard, but they were out there every day and they were dedicated and they were committed.
Can they be all those things and still not, quote, try hard? If they didn't try hard, then I don't agree that they should get a trophy.
That's what I'm wondering. Is the participation award, does it just say thanks for participating?
That's pretty much
award. Is that what it says?
It's pretty much just a.
I mean, why don't you just make up stats, certain things, I don't know, I don't know, I was a nose guard. Remember when I was playing football? What if they're oh, you got this many sacks, or you pushed this many guys out of the way? I mean, at least you can put something and say on paper what they did instead of just saying, hey, thanks for participating.
Whatever sport it is, give them that equivalent of a football card. Or baseball card.
Something like that.
With their picture and then their stats and their when you at the end of Call of Duty, this is probably the best example. You might have not.
That would actually be a really cool one. I remember that they did that when we were young and T-ball ages and stuff like that. They gave you a little card. That would be a great idea.
And it just shows your stats. I mean, it doesn't have to be an award, but I mean, it's still this is this is what you did, this is what you accomplished this year.
Right.
Try and beat it next year.
It's like an accomplishment award.
Yeah. Yes,
that's what you accomplished. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
So on top of that, when you play Call of Duty, when you lose or you win, you get a badge that's badges that specifically highlight what you did. They also highlight what you did wrong. So like you could have been like the guy who died the most, or the guy who was most prone, or the guy who got the most sniper kills. So on the back of the card, it should be like your accomplishments and then things to work towards. So like, hey, you were kind of like slow. Like let's see,
slow.
But spin it to something that like goals for next year, get faster.
And it's possible
more,
too
like,
with the
baskets.
technology today and everything like that too. So
because I think that's so important for kids learning, like not only to praise them for what they did right and like actually acknowledge their accomplishments, but be like, look, this is also things we should like. These are lessons learned. And
this
things
is what
that
you're gonna work on.
Yeah,
work on.
And I know that might sound taboo or be like, oh no, the kid would be upset. But it's like, no, man, like that's how the world works. Get them used to like looking forward to doing something even more. Like, what's the next? Like, even winners who get the trophy.
I like that idea though. I think that would be a better idea than the whole trophy. I mean, because I'm looking at the trophy right now and it says 2000. This is just one of like obviously everybody does something different because some of theirs can probably say, participation award. But this one right here just says 2015 best of the batch, next level athletics, student athlete award. And I'm just thinking next level athletics is the program where they were involved in. So it's like best of the batch. Next level athletics student athlete award is what all it says. So it's just a trophy with just like some general broad, thing.
Because that's where the
announcement.
That's where the hurt can actually, like the negative effect can actually come in. I mean, like, you teach a kid that just by like showing up is enough is not. I don't know.
That's the only part that I have the problem with too. Is that's not always enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, now, granted, they're a younger age and different stuff like that, and we don't need to make them adults right away, but at the same time, we do have to be instilling some lessons for life later on that, hey, that when, you get to whatever it is you love and you're passionate about and you want to do that, it's not going to just take some mediocre thing to be able to achieve that dream that you want. It's not going to be able to just show up and that's it. You're going to have to work.
Just showing up to preschool is not enough if you're not if you're not being with the other kids and like doing those things,
and you're never gonna learn. Yeah.
What about like in professional sports? Like how like, people go to the just say like what's the thing in football? The Super Bowl. Anyways, the backup quarterback who's never done anything the entire year, and just because he's on the team, he gets a whatever.
Relatively speaking,
Super Bowl
but he
ring.
still does stuff. Yeah, he gets a ring.
So what does he do?
He's just on a practice team.
Yeah, I mean, he's working. He's also got the clipboard. He's, like, helping, like, hey, I'm noticing from my side, I'm noticing the defense does this, that, and the other thing. You guys want to do, like, he participates in the huddles and conversations when the defense is on there and he's with the main quarterback.
What about the third-string quarterback?
I mean, he's trying to just learn to be ready. Third-string quarterback doesn't do a lot.
He still gets the Super Bowl.
But he gets a participation award.
He gets a Super Bowl ring, yeah.
Which is a Super Bowl
I mean,
ring.
the fact of the matter is that it's not just the things that you do on Sunday; it's the things that you do on Monday through Friday. So he's his job is to work with the other third stringers to help, like, because he's responsible with interacting in an offense and particularly a defense by doing the offense of the second and third strings and getting them prepared and knowledgeable about their offense and the defense they want to run, so that when somebody else besides a quarterback goes down and that next person has to come up, that wide receiver's like, dude, I work with so and so, the third string quarterback. I know the offense. He's a really great quarterback. He was able to articulate everything in a way that I can understand. So
it's like a participation award then.
No, but I mean, he's doing a lot of work. He's
still doing
participating.
But
sure.
It's okay with that. I mean, yeah, I don't mind giving participation awards either out to people like that if they were actually working hard and doing things that they needed to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that at that point it's too much of an issue. The part that I have a problem is the people that just show up and that's it. Yeah. They think because they just showed up, they get awarded. Like he's saying, the third string QB, he's still doing things. Yeah, he's not on the field making the end game decisions and making that touchdown happen. And he might have some type of influence when that all goes down. But he is there Monday through Friday, working with the team, constantly putting his time in, trying to make everybody all as a team better. So when a team is successful, he's a part of that team. He gets rewarded too as well. But if this was just some guy that was standing on the sidelines, never did anything, didn't participate, doesn't do Monday through Friday, doesn't give a shit about the team, doesn't even really want to be there, but is there and still gets rewarded, that's when I'm kind of like, eh. And there's going to be people like that on those teams. There's going to be those people. And that's deeper than just a trophy issue. That's a psychological issue that needs to be found and fixed and solved within society or in an individual. But that's not going to be, I don't think that the trophy situation is going to, I think you're going to get those people anywhere. And that you can't really, I don't know. I like the idea about making the card. What do we call that, though? You said it wasn't participation; it was like a valuation award or something like that.
I mean, achievement card or
Achievement card. That was a good word for it. Like achievement card shows you what you've done, your goals to get to the next year. You ran the 40 and
Yeah, you were the fastest kid.
6.5. You want to run it eventually next year. Your goal is for 6.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, and we had this thing at work where you could give achievements out to other employees and stuff, and there was like the ninja. He's a guy who like goes and helps other teammates and lifts them up and like or disciplines and lifts them up. And then there's like the high quality guy. He's like his stuff is just consistently great. And then there is like I don't know, leadership and all this other stuff.
And you're able to pass out those awards.
Yeah,
Now, how did
and,
everybody else feel when they didn't get the award?
They were fine. It made everybody want to like. It made me personally want to be like, ah, man. What?
I want a participation award.
Yeah, well, you want to like work towards so that you can be acknowledged.
Something, Clay.
Yeah, okay, so I understand that, you want to work hard and work towards it, but then what happens when you worked your ass off and all this other stuff like that, and then you didn't get one the next year?
Well, that's a failure in my opinion by the people who are supposed to be looking out for that and acknowledging that.
Yeah.
That's just a failure on their part. Because, yeah, that's
well, that's good then. I mean, well, you know, and you've obviously probably been taught that, there's always a reason for something and everything. But some kids, like, nowadays that are on Adderall and all this other antidepressants and stuff like that, they just can't handle it, dude. So, I don't know. But
can't handle what? Like, not getting an award?
Failure. Yeah.
Oh, failure.
Dude, I guess
still can't
if they look at
though. Like, I get pissed off
but
failure.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you know this. I lose, and I'm like, fuck. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, but also when it's like your computer memory was like messing up and everything, you're like, oh, there's really nothing I can do about this.
I'm growing. I'm still growing and learning.
I'm growing.
Old Clay would be pissed off at that.
I'm growing. Like, I gotta change it.
This computer's going out the window.
I can't wait to get a new computer. Anyway.
Gotcha. I like that though because it's just participation award, man. It's obviously an important thing that's going on, and it's gonna have an influence on children and stuff like that. And gotta figure that one out.
Yeah.
Still stuck on the fence though. I like the idea of the achievement award.
You should swing.
I like that.
You should like send that concept over. I think.
Yeah, right. Really like send it to
achievement card award, yeah.
Send it to a little league company and just have them try that out and see what they think for that year, or like especially a one that's already opposed to like the participation award.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're gonna be a little bit more. You got to still do something.
I can see them trying to say something like,
it's a glorified report.
Who's
card.
gonna be taking the stats? Like, who are we gonna be?
It's a glorified report card. That's all it is. You got a picture on it, and otherwise it's a report card.
Yeah, but it's cool because it's like a fucking.
And that would be cool for them.
Sports
They'd
card.
be like, "Oh, every year I get my souvenir
you collect them
card, and I collect my cards to find out how I improved over the years." And
hell yeah,
oh, that'd be really cool to have later on in life.
Yeah, Steve's like, "Shit, I want pharmaceutical."
I want an achievement
award. Like
yeah,
I want achievement awards.
Yeah, maybe you can do something like that for Uncle Neil's team or something.
That's what I was thinking. Like something like that.
That'd be pretty cool. And just start it and don't even like say anything. But at the end of the year, just do it and see what happens
to the leagues.
That'd be pretty cool.
Here's what happened with us. We did this. Here's a little.
If you do end up doing it, I would really like to touch base after it's all done. And
yeah,
see how
seriously, that'd be really cool.
That could work.
Do a little experiment. All right, guys, this has been another episode of the Everything and Nothing Show. As always, you can find these videos on youtube.com/Maelstrom Gamers channel, Monday through Friday, topic by topic. All 5 topics are rolled up into one episode on Saturday. All of that is free. You can support us for free on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel by commenting, liking, subscribing, and following. If you have an extra buck, an extra 100 cents lying around, and you find yourself coming back to us often or entertained, please throw us $1, as little as $1, on patreon.com/Maelstrom Gamers channel.
Don't throw it at us though.
Or on YouTube. It's greatly appreciated. It goes right back into the show. We're starting to build some stuff, so we're actually going to hopefully be generating some new things here in the future.
Yeah.
Including some guests, including some marketing stuff and whatnot. So I'm super excited about that. So until next week, we'll have another episode for you. Keep thinking about everything and nothing. It's been an honor to entertain you. Peace.
One thing too as well, guys.
I can't wait to do that. I can't wait.
One thing too, guys. Hey, guys, we appreciate the money. Everybody loves that and stuff too. But what we appreciate more is we love that feedback that we've been getting, the comments and stuff like that. It gets us like involved too, in being able to have like an interactive, on point conversation where it's live. And I like that. So keep those coming too as well, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we're having guests in a couple weeks too.
Yeah, yay.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Peace. Take care.